Somebody once told me I had to do it. I had to do it. It's disgusting in there. Don't go in. Welcome to Out Your Shell. So now that we've been here in Poland for over a month now, the excitement of 5 months' time, we're getting our first ever flight to Southeast Asia. Myself being a very stereotypical bloke, not being able to express myself through enjoyment, giggling, laughing, too much smiling. I decided to do a painting. When I look at any country, I don't look at the typical tourist attractions. I'm not ever traveling to go and see the biggest building there, the shiniest car, the nicest luxuries. I always look to the poorest communities. I look at the humble people, the average people that work there. So I want to do a painting around Cambodia. Not just the Cambodia that you and I may see a lot of, those gorgeous floating villages, the pagodas, the temples, Angkors, the Buddhist monks. I want to get the divide of the wealth, the comfort, the luxuries of Cambodia mixed with the poorest, lowest quality of life living. On this canvas, I need to do a painting that represents all classes of people in Cambodia, from the poorest to the rural farmers to Phnom Phen. So let's go home, sketch out the plan for this Cambodia divide painting, Out Your Shell style. I'll see you at home. I came up with this one. This was going to be a turtle on his back with a little house, a little man on the top of it. This one, I was thinking of the Galapagos tortoise, that very bulky, hard shell. And then around the tortoise, we could have different parts of Cambodia. We could have the slums on the inside spewing out. You've got the dirty water in parts of it. You've got Phnom Penh and the touristy parts, very more built up where all the money's kept. The royal palace, this gorgeous golden palace for the royalty in Cambodia on top of the shell. And then in the background we can have those ancient Buddhist Hindu sites, Angkor Wat, Bayon Temple, the Elephant's Gate, amazing places that me and Isa cannot wait to see. So the outline that I've done on this nice big canvas has finished. Feeling great, feeling like Van Gogh's son over here. Let's just hope I don't ruin it. So let's get started. By the way, have you seen these? So I found these here and there's so many for a low price. So comment below if you wish to see these being painted, cute little baby Buddhas. Comment below, make sure you like the video. This could be the next one. We can paint so many of these. Maybe do a hide and seek with them with the local kids. So the first part that we're going to be starting with is do the skyline and do the base colour for the floor and the turtle. So let's start. So far starting off with this, for some reason, green skyline. We're going to add colours when it dries up. Down here, having this slum, shamefully poorest of the community. So, don't mind the stain. We're going to do some browns, some darker, some greys. You can have these little detail shed huts, the trash everywhere, everything like that. So let's try and get some base colours done, starting with a bit of brown, hey? By the way, anyone that does painting and is an amateur or intermediate, let me know, because when I was starting this, which I do like now, I'm very happy with this one, the tortoise coming out of shell, the meditation, the lotus flower. When I started, same as this feeling I have right now, I feel deflated. I feel self-judgment. I'm like, oh, why am I bothering? I know I'm not good. Comment below if you've ever felt the same. For me, you push through and then start adding the detail, refining it a little bit, and then see how you feel. So let's try and get this bottom base coat done. Okay. Okay, after ruining the skyline, then watching a couple of videos on how to do clouds and really trying to think of something, everything I've created has been a bit odd, a bit different. This is where we're at. Welcome back to the next day. Easy's in the other room watching telly, so we're going to paint the clouds. We're going to do them in there. So if we can see it, here we have the Golden Temple or the Golden Palace where royalty lives in Phnom Phen. This was reference for it. I had to buy the finest paintbrush I could find. So we'll see how good this comes out without gold paint. But here we got the main section of the top of the shell, then you got these like smaller side parts, and then a lip that comes out all the way to the top here. Then obviously being a Galapagos tortoise shell, he has this like under plate. Rip my ear off and call me Van Gogh. So far just doing that basic pattern, but trying to do something that's not realistic. You want it a bit fantasy, concept art based. Looking forward to getting all this part done so I can do the little details, the little people, children, the realistic side. Even outside Phnom Penh, you've got slums, and I use footage. We're going to use some references of pictures in order to make these scenes. Otherwise, let's keep going. Whenever having to do something creative, I always have to listen to music. For the last 3 years, my favourite has to be Trevor Hall. But we're going to end it there for now. For myself, I can only focus for about 3 hours max on something creative, and I make that mistake of not stepping away from it, having a look. And Isa's brought up something that my dad used to say to me a lot when I was growing up, when I used to come to him with the little drawings of pike and elephants and stuff like that. He would always tell me there's no depth, there's a fear of the darkness. And Isa's just said the same thing about this one. So whether or not I need to add more black in here, maybe at the base, the land and stuff we haven't even got to because we're going to have shadowing over it, or even the skyline, maybe not enough depth. So it's another annoyance of me, and I'll see what we can do tomorrow. Anyway, night. So it's the next day. Me and Isa's decided to go to this little private allotment place. Gorgeous place, gorgeous plants. You know that feeling when you're in a creative mood and you're motivated to keep doing something? Especially me, I'll do something for 2 weeks straight and then I'll want it done. I just want to finish. So I decided to bring the painting with us. So we shall do it here in this nice little bit of greenery that's around us. I'm relating to baby Buddha here. The smoke, I'm taking up smoke. Drink here. Because it's summer, even though he's on a hardcore diet, we've got a cider each. And then we're gonna read a book and do some painting. So manly, so manly. Wanted to go through a couple of the facts on Cambodia, the level of poverty that it's at, and why. So per person, per day, Khmer people are expected to earn between $2 to $2.7 a day. Comparing that to any Western country, crazy low, crazy low. Reasons for that, shamefully there is ongoing corruption in Cambodia. The poverty line is slowly decreasing, but with the corruption, the economy is a complete mess. With the lack of education and work, means that so many people end up going in the same routine as their parents, with many just resulting in turning to farming and so on. So before I left the UK, shamefully it was my nan's funeral. My dad, my uncle, my cousins, we're all sat around trying to be intellectual, talking about poverty, immigrants, all these different things, foreign aid, as if the UK actually gives that much besides the Ukrainian war. And I don't speak up unless I'm asked. I don't need to be giving out my opinion. I don't need to receive other people's opinions. And when I was asked, I said about an idea of a luxury tax. So let me quickly ask you, or let me quickly put it across to you and see what you think. By the way, I'm loving the look of this place. It's very rustic, almost Nordic feel to it. Nice. So, the idea of this luxury tax. I'm not pretending to be highly educated in world economics, in any of this stuff. I'm simply a person that tries to care. So after sitting down and discussing this idea of a luxury tax to my family, and it's something I've always questioned. I'm not one of them people that's like, fuck the rich, why are they rich? But surely, if there is human suffering, if there's a desperate level of poverty, how can someone sit in a multi-million-dollar mansion and own 3 other mansions down the road, 20 cars? This isn't about how much you earn and what you've grafted for and how you've made it for yourself and you deserve this luxury lifestyle. If you've made it big and if you've earned your money through a humble, benefiting way, not some TikTok fame, not some YouTube fame, not some easy money that I've been given $1 million loan from my dad and I've made multi-millions from that. It doesn't count. But the idea of a luxury tax is a simple one. I'm a millionaire. I own a car and I want a second one. When I go to buy that second one for 30k, I have to pay an extra 10k that goes to the very, very poorest in the world's community. I'm not just on about Americans helping out Americans. I'm not on about the homeless in Britain that I worked with. I'm on about the poorest of the poor in the world, to go directly to them to aid them. This way, those that live a high luxurious lifestyle that are heavily materialistic and egotistical, to look at my mansion, look at my newest Lamborghini, it goes 0 to 60 in 1 second. Cool. But what it does do is it balances out. If you want to live a luxurious materialistic lifestyle, you will be benefiting the poorest of the world, at least until every single person is above the poverty line. Anyway, back to Cambodia. So only 24% of native Cambodians have access to electricity. 64% have access to clean water. 31% to adequate sanitation. So these are still people that are living very much below the poverty line, very much below our comforts that we live in the Western world, that we take for granted. So after getting bored of doing Phnom Penh here, done a little bit of the slums down here, just those in the darkness in the background, slowly seeping into. Then we're gonna have an amazing river, the little houses that are there. For now, we're gonna start on the Royal Palace, get them light yellows going, some golds up here, and the building itself being white, so we get that base coat on. Isa's just made some cacao from Sierra Leone, so I'm going to enjoy this as we paint. Cheers. I was just saying to Isa that every time you try to do a fine detail, trying to do these white pillars in the doorway, I'm holding my breath and then I'm stepping away, breathing again, and then I'm lightheaded. So finally back to the painting. We're going to focus in here, Angkor Wat and the Elephant's Gate, two places that myself and Isa cannot wait to go and see. Imagine sitting at Elephant's Gate, seeing people go through, locals, tourists, sit in the centre of that road and just do a little watercolour painting of it. I can't wait. So we're going to try and get this Angkor Wat here in the background done. Get a bit of pink, a bit of the side lighting towards the sun. Amazing, can't wait. The sound of creative talent. Still hot all week here, on the edge of Ukraine and Poland. So finally covered the canvas. Comment below how you're doing. This is the point where I wish it was finished and I don't want to rush and end up ruining it. But using references of the Elephant's Gate, of Angkor Wat, of some of the nature parks. But this is where we're at. So we've got this tropical water on the side, you've got the slums in the really polluted parts of Cambodia where the poorest of the poor lives. The water shamefully has all this polluted algae and the trash everywhere. Again, with a goal in mind of going to Cambodia and trying to make a little bit of goodness in this world. Do what we can, so make sure you're joining us, supporting where you can, like and subscribe. But yeah, we're doing good. Then at the end, a bit of gold, give it that shine. So I'm gonna leave you guys until this is done and we can reveal the end painting. Okay, come on. Forgot my coffee. that excitement in Cambodia in 5 more months, so I had to. Shamefully not being a YouTuber, not investing in this yet, so I don't have a microphone. So I'm using the GoPro 10 Black that I got a few months back. Otherwise, the painting. With this painting and myself only being able to express myself through a creative manner, looking at what we're going to be doing in Cambodia, touring it with enough support from you turtles, potentially buy a tuk-tuk for me and Isa to tour Cambodia, take our time, really show you humble lives and what you should be going to Cambodia for. So with the painting expressing the diversity, the divide of the rich and the poor in Cambodia, I understand that this is absolutely everywhere, but Cambodia, there's something beautiful about the poorer communities. From Phnom Phen here, the capital, the central point, the moneymaker of Cambodia. Absolutely gorgeous. Myself not being a city person, but somewhere we're going to be spending a little bit of time reviewing, finding honest opinions around the country itself. With great charities of like Dream Big Cambodia, Build Cambodia, amazing projects that are out there. I'll link them all down below if you wish to support. Myself hoping and communicating with a couple of you guys, wishing to put my hands in, get in the deep end of this like I have with many other jobs before. So I'll see you guys in 6 months. Depending on our income in Cambodia, depending on the safety in Cambodia, my biggest dream, and I watch it in Indigo Traveller, I'm watching these amazing vloggers where they go to the rural, the poorest parts, and be able to film an honest look at these people's lives. The idea of going to the most poorest, rural, run-down part of Cambodia where children are living amongst waste, with that strange beauty behind it, but sad at the same time. Myself growing up in the UK, we have a world of luxuries at our hands. We're distracted by the amount of comforts that we have. The idea of being accepted to build a community in these areas would be amazing. Obviously, Angkor Wat, the Bayon Temple, these historic locations that are around Cambodia, the idea of touring, stay in Siem Reap for a few months and just take our time and appreciate the little Angkors, the little historic ruins based around different parts. I cannot wait, Isa cannot wait. And having monkeys everywhere, I'm going to be building miniature furniture, mini meals, just to have that interaction. But there is also a sad, sad poverty. Gorgeous as Cambodia is, personally, I've always looked at poverty sectors around the world. I've always looked at the poorest communities from Africa to South America, to Southeast Asia, even in the UK when I worked with the homeless. There is a beauty to surviving. There is a beauty behind living a simplistic lifestyle. There's no children in the rural parts of Cambodia that are sat indoors on their phones all the time. There's a force for community. There is no choice but to find happiness in the simplest actions. This to me is a very, very beautiful thing that I cannot wait to see. I'm going to be selling this painting. I'm not saying that I'm worth anything more. In the past I've sold Pokemon sculptures, hand painted cards, paintings based around mental health and change and accepting who you are despite other people's points of view. Instagram's going to be just here. The money's going to be going towards a community project to set up breakfast stations, sexual health stations, women's health stations, drug and alcohol talking therapies in and around Cambodia. We are a tiny, tiny project that I have a massive goal for. It's going to be something that will happen, but I need your support. So make sure that you like and you subscribe. This is the road to the kingdom. This is an opportunity for me, Isa, and yourself to step out of our comfort zone, do something good for those that need it, and build a family of turtles. We're hatching on the beach, we're going into the sea, we're making a change. So, much love guys, I appreciate you watching. I've enjoyed doing this. Like if you want more artwork done on this channel. If not, I'll go back to mental health and a little bit of showing you of Poland. Otherwise, dziękuję, thank you, take care, come out your shell, bye.